All right, so we come back up. Albus, you notice Kestrel is maybe a bit tipsier than when we embarked.
A bit.
It
only
goes
going to
to
get
sit
worse
down.
from here.
It goes to sit down. It has to do a little like,
Yeah.
Bonnie's like trying to help steer her.
God, I hope it's not that
just
bad.
plopped down.
We're talking 1.5 shots and 2 sips of wine. So probably something for sure. But I don't think you're like
Oh, and that short of
falling
time
over.
span, that was like what, like 10 minutes?
True.
Yeah.
On an empty stomach.
Well, that's true.
say on an empty stomach. You know.
You're probably
I don't know
feeling
what-
warm. You're feeling a bit happy, I think, for sure. Yeah.
Warm, happy, a little tingling.
Yeah,
We're good.
yeah.
Gonna have a great time trying to teach her to read on the trip now.
Yeah.
What is this
Reading.
alphabet?
Yeah, she's going to have such a headache.
All right. So, Albus, I'm going to pour yours. They're over here. We found Casimir burning alcohol. Seems kind of right up your alley. And then we have some bourbon to wash it down.
Ooh, you found some burning?
Bourbon. Yeah. Oh, yeah, your thing. Yeah, we did.
Yeah, my thing.
Yeah.
Oh, I love a shot of burning.
Oh, okay. Here, I'll make you one right now. Just throw it back while you're cooking.
Okay, I'm like
With that
chopping, I'm
knife,
doing
yeah.
stuff. I grab it real quick and
Yeah.
Nice.
How is it?
fantastic.
Okay, great. I found it a little hot, but I'm so pleased that you like it.
Gunnolf's dying after it.
I take pride in my local cuisine.
That's great.
While Albus is cooking and stuff, Kestrel's just kind of leaning over the table and looking at everything that he's doing, and she asks, like, why is most of this not food?
Well, that was directed toward me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably meaning like the
What
vegetables
is
and
what,
shit.
Yeah.
what do you
Yeah.
think is not food?
She's just like clumsily pointing at like, you know, but I don't know, carrots or
Oh, okay.
you know, the onions and stuff that he's chopping. Why put that in there?
The vegetables?
Yeah.
Have you never
it's
eaten
like,
vegetables before, Kestrel?
I don't know what that is.
I'm trying to think if I ever gave you anything that had vegetables. I don't think I,
I think
have.
you gave me like a muffin or something. Oh, you
That might
gave me
have
I think you gave me a special apple when I was in my beast
Oh,
form,
yeah.
screwing up that Marius guy. But
Okay.
I mean, I'll be honest, I don't think I was here enough to process even what was happening. So,
That's fair.
yeah.
I'll just kind of look at you like excitedly to explain, like, oh, you're gonna love it. You love meat, correct?
Yes. Love meat. Yeah. All kinds.
These help meat taste better.
Oh. How?
When I combine these all together, the flavors make the meat even better. And the way I cook the meat, I bring out more flavor.
Is it like magic?
Basically.
And the panseer actually says, yes, it is. It's a special kind of magic. The art of cooking.
Oh, that's really cool. I can do magic too.
Oh dear God. Turns into a bird.
Please don't.
I can do magic.
You want help?
No. You enjoy yourself. You sit and wait, and I will bring you your food.
Okay. Looks interesting. Very interesting. Good job. And I go sit.
What's
I'm
what
just
is?
gonna kind of lean over to Steve real quick and be like, "You keep an eye on her."
Yeah, no, she's cut
Make sure
off.
nothing
I
happens.
wanted her to just get a little went a long way.
So to be clear, Sharp, your problem. Well, I guess it depends on how strong a connection you tried to make, Kestrel.
I wanted her to feel, the same feeling. I want her to enjoy the dinner with us. I want her to feel what we're enjoying because she should be a part of this community event.
How big of a connection were you building initially? Like,
I mean,
like, was it just like, here, just take this while I'm having it, or were you trying to really juice her up again, essentially?
juice her up? Am I trying to prolong the connection?
Yeah, essentially.
Yeah, I think I would, basically, so she can be a part of the experience.
Okay, so then to
Oh.
be clear, Sharp, you are also feeling a little tipsy.
Oh, I see. Sorry, I was under the impression it was just that glass of wine.
No, now you've had burning and ouzo.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, and bourbon. Burning and bourbon.
Great.
A sensation you probably haven't felt in a long, long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I lean over to her and I'm like, "Are you enjoying it too?"
I feel so freaking good, man. Whew.
Albus, what's this over here? Are you using this for the soup? And it is the injection thing for Sharp.
Oh no, that's a special thing that I found down there. Bonnie explained to me that it's a way of giving flavor to anchorites in a sensation that makes them feel like they eat or they have consumed something, but it's in a gaseous form.
All right, and Jason, are they labeled peach and vanilla?
They are.
And
they
does
do have labels
does
on.
Peter have to, or does Albus have to mix them first, or is it easy enough to do?
Well, so Bonnie can say, "Oh, if you need help getting those to work, I can be of assistance." And if she comes and shows you that you can essentially, it depends on what you want to do. But there are inputs essentially to sort of like refill or recharge different kinds of like alchemical mixtures on Sharp's suit. You essentially can just sort of plug these into that, and basically, like, if you turn both of them on, and you could technically like throttle or do one and then the other or something, or you could just turn them both on, and it would basically just sort of add them to the mix of everything that's swirling around in your suit, more or less. Yeah.
So how is that?
Well, you
Is
do
it- I think Bonnie's doing it for you right now.
So yeah, if you ask her to, she would only do it with your permission, Sharp.
Yeah, I
This
was
is
gonna
just
say,
sort of
anybody gonna
making-
fucking
yeah.
tell me?
Here, jabber in the eye.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd love to try it. I don't think I've only heard of these, so thank you. Peach and vanilla
so
are my
you-
favorite.
So she installs them both, kind of turns them on, and it is certainly a novel sensation. This isn't like the sort of empathic connection that you get with Kestrel, where you can sort of remember the flavors. This is like, it's almost, what's the right way to call this? In the same way that, say, like alcohol can kind of make things feel like fuzzy. When these things swirl around, it's almost like I want to say metaphorical, but you are, because you're kind of you exist as sort of just like you're a mind, and it's almost like if you could imagine putting on rose tinted glasses, but this is almost sort of that, but flavored not like rose. It's almost like suddenly everything feels almost what you would imagine like strawberry vanilla, like the vibe is. It's very much like that. It's almost like a strange mood flavoring in a way.
Okay.
Because there's not really any taste that you can feel. It's almost like the metaphorical equivalent of like how some flavors are actually just smells. It's like that, but for your mood in a way. And so it almost reminds you of a flavor, but because of the vibe it gives, in the same way that like sometimes you can like see something or hear something and it has, say, a very like sugary kind of feel to it. It's almost like if you had synesthesia and things kind of like flip-flopped a little bit.
Yeah.
It's like that. Yeah.
Okay.
It's probably not like anything you've really ever felt before, outside of just sort of the weird other kind of novel sensations that being a ghost crammed into a suit usually gives you. But this is new in that regard. But yeah.
Is it nice?
It's weird, but yeah, like I don't even know how to describe it, but I love it.
Does it taste like peaches and vanilla, or does it feel like peaches and vanilla?
Yes.
Sounds interesting.
Sharp is also drunk
Right.
to
I
experience
know,
that
yeah, like
sensation.
She's
yeah.
drunk.
Out of curiosity,
I feel the peach.
am I getting a two-way street, or am
Oh,
I?
yeah.
Actually,
I was going to ask about that.
yeah, you probably are. Actually, so you who have never had vanilla nor peach have no idea how to place the weird vibes you're also kind of picking up. but you are feeling them. It's like a weird kind of like, it's like a bit of an upper. There's a little bit of that, like a little bit of that. A little bit of that, yeah. Like you get a buzz from like a really sweet. You know that you take a really sweet drink and the flavor of it makes you go, ooh, like a little bit of that. You kind of get that little bit of rush. There's a little bit of that. That's a little bit of the peach, but then there's also a little bit of this like kind of cool, this edge to it, which is a little bit of the vanilla on the other hand. Yeah. So it's almost like you're kind of like moving between the two of them. Yeah.
Gastrel, can you feel it too?
What I'm feeling.
Really feeling it, Mr.
I don't
Krabs.
know what this is. This doesn't feel like a flavor. This isn't flavor. What is this?
This is technically peach and vanilla, but I don't remember what they taste like.
You know what? Sharp. Just give her just the vanilla.
Oh,
and
yeah.
then do just the peach.
All right, so here's just the vanilla. And we like chill to like the 9.
That's the chill vibe.
It's a chill vibe. It's a chill vibe, yeah.
So, suddenly everything feels more chill.
Yeah,
you know,
it's like super fun.
You're getting cushion locked, you know.
Oh, okay, yeah, couch locked. I'm just kind of sitting back in my chair, like, oh, okay, that's interesting.
All right, now here's the peach.
At the same time now. We're getting crunk in here.
What am I, drunk high?
And then the peach were like, okay, yeah, like a little, like it's not like freaking raspberry or something, you know. But
it's jazzier.
Yeah, it's a little bit more energy.
Okay.
It's almost like you've got that energy that like in your feet, you want to tap them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you want yeah.
I think peach is more kestrel energy. Like that one, yeah.
Yeah.
Great. All right.
Now I'm gonna do them both. Because I like.
So as everybody is playing around with all of their things,
Yeah, now it's a party.
The food inevitably here gets made. Albus, as you have prepared the food, why don't you give us the rundown on this beautiful meal that you prepared for everybody?
And a speech.
Okay.
Bitch.
And a toast.
Sharp has got her stuff. She already knows what her stuff is.
Thank you so much.
So
yeah, thank you.
I'm just going to start laying out the bowls of stew that I've already prepared in front of everybody. And as I'm doing that, I'm kind of explaining what's in there. So I tell them, all right, so this is what I've made you guys. I've made you guys a boar rear soup with potatoes, hearty carrots, celery. What was the cream called? Disney cream?
I don't think I don't know if I gave you a name for it.
No, well, you
Ortiz
did the regular
cream.
cream though, I think. Because
I think you did.
No, I did the
It was
moving
the moving one.
It was the moving. cream.
Oh my god, that's right, yeah.
The swirly cream.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll call it swirly cream. There you
Swirly
go.
cream. With a kind of strange. Don't be panicked if your soup starts to move a little. The cream in here is supposed to kind of give it a little bit more oomph.
Excellent.
There's some spices that I've thrown in there. There is what else did I put in there? What was the stock? It was sea serpent stock, right?
Sea serpent stock, and there was they call it Tempest butter.
Tempest butter. That's the shocky butter, right?
Mm-hmm. That was just the shocky butter.
And some. What was the mushroom called?
Oh, it didn't have a name.
Okay.
Did you picked the kind of regular flavor?
The glow
one?
shroom.
Was it the regular flavored glow one, or was it one of the other
umami one?
The umami one.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's probably just called because it's a pretty standard one. Let's say it is this just called just a deep drop mushroom.
Okay.
Mhm.
And a mushroom that kind of gives it a ethereal kind of glow to it. So that's what's in the stew. I've also prepared a side of. Are we just going to call it cornbread?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll just go with cornbread. And a side of this very spicy kind of honey that I thought would pair well with the sweets on top of the spice. And then I'll bring out the tea. I'm assuming everybody will probably want some tea as well.
Probably good to transition from the booze.
Yeah. And for the drink, I prepared some of the flour that Kisif gave us, the Regal Protea flower, and I steeped it into a tea.
Also gonna.
Is there alcohol in it?
Absolutely not.
100% no.
But Kestrel, what
This
you
is not
should do
spiked
is
tea.
put some of that spicy honey into the tea, and it is really gonna give you a kick.
It is actually called Ghostwood honey, but yes.
Ghostwood.
Ghostwood, I like
Ghostwood.
that name.
I'm
Okay.
gonna slather it on that cornbread too.
I'm gonna put that.
I honeying up my tea. I don't know how much to add though, so it's just going until almost all of it's like emptied into it.
Oh no, I have to run back down to the
like-
cellar to get more honey.
Put a spoon over to catch some of it. I'm gonna try. Start with that. You don't want to overpower the tea, and I'm gonna put some of the honey in mine. And start there.
Okay.
And if you want more, we can add it.
Okay. Okay.
There is actually an almost like warming quality to the honey. So when you put it into the tea, it keeps it even warmer.
Oh,
and
hell
like as you
yeah.
drink it down, yeah, it actually like it's warm, like to your touch, like to your tongue. Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, you know what?
Um,
Peter, did he? Peter, fucking Jason, did Peter
Yes.
have to roll for how good the meal is? Like, I don't think it's gonna be bad, but like just
Peter's like, fuck!
How dare you?
Fucking teacher's
Uh,
pet!
Yeah. Ruin his meal.
Do you have to roll every time you
Ruin
wiggle
it.
your sword
That system
around?
is fucked. Roll 20 sucks. They're gonna.
Yeah.
As much as I might say that, like, normally, yes, not only is he being assisted by other people,
Okay.
but because he is a gourmand, I'm going to say that he is perfectly capable of making
Nice.
food. That's just
Okay,
part
alright.
of his class. Yeah.
Teacher,
If
what
you
about
were
the
trying to
pop
do it-
quiz?
Yeah.
Okay.
Shut up, Steve!
Yeah, Albus, can you do that thing that's core to your character?
Yeah.
Why don't you make an oxygen
Really
check,
well.
you fucking asshole?
So after I've set everything out in front of you guys, I'm just going to kind of take a step back, put my paws behind my back, and just say it was an honor and a privilege to be able to cook for you guys.
Thank you for
Thank
this.
you,
raised my
Albus.
Albus.
Thank you.
Yeah, I raised my tea.
Kanpai.
We are toasting. We are
Okay.
toasting
Oh,
right now.
okay.
Oh,
In this
shit.
new ritual that I have learned.
Okay.
And I say, to Albus and this
Mhm.
beautiful feast.
To Albus.
To Albus.
So,
Sharp's holding up one of the bottles and think.
Yeah.
Think, and
Yeah.
then just set it down.
And that was fun.
yeah.
So I'm gonna eat. I'm gonna take like the stew. I'm gonna start with the stew. Get the meatiest bite that I can. You really let the warmth permeate everything, and then I'm gonna switch to the cornbread. So I'm getting like the sweet, mixed in back and forth with the savory, and I'm assuming it's amazing. You tell me, Jason. Maybe
It's got a lot of umami. It's got a lot of sweetness. There's a little bit of a zip from that butter.
I would say it's pretty damn good.
Oh, sounds
But you know,
fucking
food is ultimately sort of subjective. So I suppose Steve could dislike it.
I will
He'd
say,
be wrong, but you know, yeah.
It's
Steve is from a different world.
Albus.
Maybe this isn't to his taste.
Not only is this great, I don't think I've had a meal that I have experienced in the same way that I am experiencing this food. The numbingness from this butter and the way that the soup is just kicking me in the teeth. It's something else. This is amazing.
I take a little bow and I just kind of say thank you. I'm honored.
Are you gonna eat any
So happy you
Albus?
enjoy it. I have some in the back. I'm watching you guys, kind of seeing how
And-
you experience it the first time.
Eat with us.
Okay, but to that, even the pantsier will say, you know, he'll like kind of turn to you and just be like, "It's important to make sure that you enjoy the fruits of your own labors as well."
With us.
Yeah,
With
come.
us.
You had to make sure we had the first
Yeah,
bite.
come,
we
come,
respect
come.
it. Come. We got a spot for you right here.
Yeah.
And I'll just look at the guy and just go, no, I agree. So I'll run over to the kitchen and make myself a bowl real quick.
Yay.
And come hustling back.
When you eat it, is it as good as you thought it was gonna be? Is it better or worse? Oh, good.
Better.
Good.
It was better than I expected,
Aw.
especially with the freshness and the quality of the ingredients that were available.
Kestrel, your thoughts? It's not raw meat.
It's not raw.
It's not. I haven't tried it yet. I take. Do you give me a spoon?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, you definitely have a spoon. You have a
It was
fork.
in the bowl.
There is silverware. Yes, there is.
Am I
silverware.
going to use the spoon?
Yeah, that's up to you.
Yeah, why don't you roll it?
But it's up to you, of course.
It's true. It's not core to your character. I need you to roll a dice to see if you.
Oh,
need to.
okay, sure. Roll the dice. Let's see if I know what a spoon is.
Spoon check.
Yeah, spoon check.
She looks like
A
fucking
spoon check,
beast. She's just like,
Exactly. Oh my God.
Yeah, I see everybody else is using a spoon, so I try to pick it up, and I'm a little clumsy because I don't usually use silverware for anything. And then I scoop it up, and I, take a little sip, and it's immediately a party in my mouth.
Nice.
Like, it is, and I'm just like, that's not what food tastes like. It tastes lightningy. And and I'm just kind of just going through the whole emotional experience, and I'm like, this is an experience, Albus. I am experiencing things. Wow. Very interesting, very cool. And Sharp, what do you think?
Oh, that's right. She can.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely a stew that I've never tasted before, or like could relate to. So
Does it make you miss food?
fuck yeah.
this is kind of heartwarming and nice, but it's also like setting her up to be a junkie.
Yeah, I'm just
You
gonna be
can't
like,
feel anything,
Kestrel,
but if you touch
Kestrel.
people or
Gotta be more of that.
Yeah.
I need you to remember what bubblegum tastes like.
Yeah, exactly.
Kestrel, help me taste bubblegum.
Mhm.
Yeah, on a slightly related note, there are mediums in New Keslov that make a decent amount of money because there are ghosts that could use an extra body to feel things. So yeah,
Gunolf,
That is the
how
thing.
is it washing the burning out of your mouth?
The vomit.
Yeah, it's actually doing wonders and helping settle my stomach. This is nothing short of amazing. And I wasn't anticipating putting you to work, Albus, when I suggested coming here. But I'll just turn to the pantsiers. It just makes it more special that he was able to make this for us with your assistance.
he kind of gives a
Well-
bit of a polite bow as you mention him.
And I'll just say that cooking isn't really work to me. It's something that I appreciate, and when I get to make it for friends, it means so much more. And I'm grateful that you enjoy it.
Do we know that some of the veggies are from Gunolf's farm?
I would
Ooh.
say so.
Oh yeah.
It was the onions.
Onions and the carrots.
Okay.
The carrots were from the
The
Republic.
No, yeah, those were the hardy ones.
from the Republic.
Cool. Roz, what do you think?
it's good. It's very good. I think I would like it more in the winter. Something to give you a jolt in the cold. Not that it's bad now, but as someone who's not a fan of the cold, I could do something like this in different times.
I'll remember that, and I'll be able to make it for you whenever you'd like.
That's a good point. I would like more immediately, and I would like to get second.
I'll grab your bowl, and I'll kind of go back to the kitchen to go
please,
and make
Albus,
yourself some more.
please. Enjoy. I'll get it. I go back and I get seconds. And I discover on accident
go
a
into the kitchen.
conspiracy.
Oh my god.
That's right.
I just considered.
A second vulture.
You see Baba Yaga in the
Oh
dish.
my god!
Oh my
Starts
goodness.
talking to me. Wow, I drank more than I thought. So I'll come back and I'll say, so this is great. Lovely feeling of community and such camaraderie. Nothing divination-wise has happened yet. Does that come later? Is that now?
And he kind of clasps his hands and he goes, "Ah, yes. I apologize. I got caught up in the moment a little bit there, but come Come, yes. And he kind of like, he goes to sit down as you guys are all kind of seated. So he kind of sits down and joins you guys. And he goes, "Oh, Bonnie, if you would." And she kind of gives a bow and she goes, "Oh, yes. And she grabs some of the things behind him, things that like looked like they were just kind of part of everything else. There's some glasses, basically a little kind of rack that has a bunch of eggs in it and things like that. And he goes, "Have you ever heard of the art of Ulmancy?"
No.
And he says, "Well, it's not something that everyone is aware of, but it's quite easy. And on an occasion such as this, at the start of a journey, it's perfect for setting the tone and looking forward." And he sort of sets, essentially, a glass in front of each of you. And then he sort of takes an egg, and he basically, like, kind of pushes like one of his nails through the egg, and then he kind of puts it. He waits for Bonnie to come by. She's got a little thing of water, and they fill each of the glasses, and then he puts the egg, one egg in each of your glasses, and as the egg white sort of spirals and oozes out of it, it eventually solidifies, and what's left after this is, in the glass in front of each of you, there is essentially a unique shape of some kind. The thing that he then asks each of you is he says, "What you each need to do is hold a question inside your heart, and then look inside the glass, and tell me what you see." And at that, then, we'll go opposite order.
Fuck.
So that puts
me.
that's
Roz
Rosalind. That's
first.
Rosalind.
It's all right.
Yeah.
It'll give Maisie some time to think. Except I already know my question. Is Neravine still alive?
Okay. And then to this, this is a question that I am putting towards you guys. So at this point, I want each of you to tell me what you see inside the shape. Think of it like a Rorschach test of sorts. What sort of shape? We're like looking at clouds, if you will.
Okay.
And so give me a shape, a thing, something like that. And this is similar to, you guys say, if you wanted to say spend a Fabula point to have something happen, although it's a bit more vague. But the things that you see here related to your question are things that I will do my absolute best to ensure you come across at some point as we move forward. So you're going to be able to sort of plant the seed of something as we move forward here.
I would love to spend a Fabula point.
But you don't know, but you don't need to spend a Fabula point is the thing. Yeah.
It's akin to doing
Cool.
it.
Great.
It is akin to doing so, albeit a bit more vague.
Okay.
But you are sort of, you're kind of plant a seed. So your question was
Is
how
Neravine.
is Neravine alive? Was that what it was?
Mhm.
Okay. And you tell me what it is that you see.
Oh, good. I'm glad I get to be first.
Ah,
Yep.
I asked a yes/no question to something I have to make a Rorschach test out of. I would say the image that takes shape in the glass is almost like a dust devil. Something that is swirling, amorphous, unclear, but also kind of like violent. Not like a tornado, not destructive, but a thing that disrupts what's in its path.
Okay. And
Because if she is alive, then she's probably out there causing chaos somewhere. And if she's not, then the chaos is going to be inside Rosalind's heart.
And so you ask, you hold your question inside your heart, but then you speak what you see. And the Panseer says, "Ah, yes, a calamity, indeed. would appear that there will be great chaos in front of you, but the answer will be within that chaos. And he gives you a little nod. Okay. And then I guess that brings us to our next person,
Victim.
which
Me.
was victim. Now,
So
Sharp, what is your question?
I think her question would be, like, is Leopold like redeemable, or like is he like still there? He himself, I guess.
Okay.
Makes sense.
Is Leopold redeemable? I suppose an alternative would be like, can he be saved or something?
Yeah.
Right, or is he beyond saving? Or yeah.
Yeah.
So, tell me what it is you see as Sharp looks into the swirling, solidified egg white that has sort of been birthed out of this little ceremony here.
So I was thinking she would see almost like solidified like ripples, or like a ripple effect, sort of.
Okay. Like a, is it? Do the ripples remind her of anything in particular?
I mean, so my thought was, I think her hope is that in having that conversation with Leopold, like at the end, and like still inviting her to live with them and all of that, caused almost like a ripple effect to end up having him be saved, or like allow for that possibility. If that makes sense, and if that's something that you can work with. That was like what was going through my head.
It makes total sense, and I like the metaphor for the ripples. I think it's funny though if it's like just like the water.
Well, that's why it was like solidified.
No, dear, that's just the water. You gotta.
Yeah, exactly. You gotta wait.
No, wait till it settles. Wait, hold on.
Yeah, like I was also thinking like a butterfly, like the butterfly effect or whatever.
No, ripples. I
But-
think that's your first instinct was ripples. I think it's great.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think it's good. Yes.
As you describe it, he nods along, and he just says, "Ripples upon water, a chain reaction indeed. Small events leading to larger ones. I hope in those that you find the answer you seek." And then he moves on to whoever is next.
Gunnel.
Um,
Yeah.
Gunnel.
What is the question you hold within your heart? Because keep in mind, these are not questions that you speak out loud, so they are questions that only you need to know.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't catch that. Okay,
Mhm.
interesting.
What will it take for me to be the last one that suffers with this disease?
Open-ended better.
Okay.
What's that?
Open-ended better.
Yeah.
Sorry, you have a long question, which is good.
Mhm.
Let's make sure I got them written down. Okay, so what does Gunnulf see as he looks into the glass?
The symbol came up first in my head before the question. And the symbol was like, those coat of arms, the standing lion?
Okay. Yeah.
That's,
Mm-hmm.
that's the symbol that came to my mind first before the question did.
Okay. A standing lion. Okay. Let's see here. And as you describe it to him, he goes, yes, the standing lion. Your answer will come when you find a noble guardian, one that stands alone. Sorry, I'm writing it down as well. So I don't know what you guys that are going to say. Okay. Next should be Kestrel.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
My question is, will I ever be able to go home again? And the image I see as the whites swirl in the water is that of a great opening eye.
Okay. And he kind of takes it in, and he says, "Ah, the eye. A curious gaze indeed. Yet curiosity is not the end of all things. It is something that pushes us all onward. The trick is, of course, to master it, to understand it, to accept it, and not let it control us, of course. If you can do this, my dear, you will find your answer."
Oh, I'm actually wondering if he understands anything he's saying, actually. Is he saying curiosity with a big C or a little C?
Unfortunately, you guys didn't turn the closed captions on before the scene.
Yeah.
so-
You suck. All right.
Tess was like, "No, you're wrong."
I'm just kind of like,
You're a
I'm a little bewildered that he's talking to me about this because nobody I've ever met has ever known anything about curiosity at all. And I'm like, okay. Yeah.
He gives you a nod, and he moves on to...
It's gonna be Albus.
Me,
Oh,
isn't
it is Albus. Correct. Oh,
Aha!
Ah.
I like seating arrangements.
you know, that's why I turn to you. You're the expert
Yeah.
here, okay?
She knows where everyone is at every time. My question is, if I ask, am I worthy of returning home?
Okay.
And the shape that I see are 4 pillar-like objects of different varying heights.
Okay. Um... And as you describe the 4 pillars, he says, it would appear that you are seeking affirmation, a foundation, a ranking, as it were, to see where you place in a great competition. I can say that you should compete. You should test your mettle, my friend, and you'll find your answer. Clear as anything else. Okay.
Last but not least.
Last but not least is Steve.
All right, so here's my issue with divination. I'll just say it for everybody. You have to be careful because you have to know the intentions of the person who's doing your fortune telling. Somebody with bad intentions comes along, anything they say, they'll know exactly what to say to push you in the direction for greatest harm. And you have to be very mindful. It's a dangerous game. With that said, I'm not gonna lie, I've come to trust everything here. It seems very legit. Mr. Vulture, sir, you seem like a very nice guy. So I'll do it. Let's do it. Let's see what I see. And the question is this new goal I'm pursuing worthy?
Okay. And what do you see within the glass?
So I don't explain, I'm not explaining to him what I'm saying. I'm just...
You are sort of naming what shape you see.
Because I can describe it, but if it's just like to you, the DM, I can just do it. Yeah, it's just it's roots that are moving for like a plant trying to find purchase but failing in like soil.
Okay.
There's something blocking these roots from
Anchoring
latching
down.
on. Yep.
And to you, he sort of cocks a bit of an eyebrow and goes, "What do you think this means, my friend?"
To me, when I look at this image, it reflects exactly my concern regarding
And-
the soul and the way that this world works.
And he kind of nods and he goes, "Of all the ones here, I am perhaps least able to divine your future, my friend."
Fucking great.
I was just about to say none of us got asked again later, and now you did.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, you were skeptical? Oh, yeah, sorry. I don't see anything.
True believers get a divination.
He says though, he goes, he's like, your future, your presence here. You are truly a wild card, my friend. I suspect that is why you are here. Whatever future you hope for, the one piece of advice I can give is that it is up to you to make it true, more than anyone else that sits at this table.
Are you having difficulty because of the nature of my presence here or the nature of my question?
And he says, the nature of your nature, my friend.
Well, okay.
Now, does anyone in the room have a relative whose name starts with the letter S?
Wait, S? S? No.
Maybe it's
M?
F?
It's Molly
Mary.
Has anyone ever had a bad day? All right. Okay.
I'm tired.
You know, I'm going to be honest, that leaves me with many more questions than answers, but I had a bit of trepidation, so maybe that's all I deserve anyway.
And he's like, well, I hope that I've been able to provide some assistance. Although, unfortunately, I suspect any guesses I give as to your quest would only lead you astray, as my own ability to perceive is limited to your own ability to navigate, as it were.
Okay. All right. Okay.
And he goes, "But with that, I hope all of you have been able to take something away from this wonderfully prepared feast, my friend. A phenomenal job. And hopefully this will be something that will live with all of you in all of your years to come."
Thank you.
It was one of the best meals I've ever had. I will say
I
that.
had a great experience.
Yeah.
You're still having a great experience.
Kestrel in the car later. Don't fucking talk.
Yeah, put on the sunglasses, hoodie on. Pedialyte.
No, I'm actually, in all actuality, I'm probably pretty sobered up after my divination. So, yeah, probably not offering much feedback. It was a good experience. Yeah.
Mhm.
I just want to thank the vulture friend again for allowing me to use the items in his pantry, make the food in his kitchen, and to prepare food for my friends.
And he
And
nods.
tell him the god of feasts would be very, very happy with the experience that we've had today.
And he nods. He goes, "I agree. Any feast is worship to him. Or
Gunnar,
her."
can we afford this?
We'll be fine.
Oh yes, payment.
Do we have?
I
to
can do
pay
something
him?
nice. I can help somehow. Yeah.
Steal something
And
from him.
Now
and
go
and
work in
sell
the
it to
kitchen
him.
and clean the dishes.
Yeah. He waves his hand a bit and he goes, No. There's no need for compensation here. This was on the house. I hope all of you are able to enjoy this going forward. Bellies full and hearts even fuller as you go about your journey. And he nods and he goes, make use of this room as much as you can, and feel free to leave whenever you wish. If there's any other questions for me, feel free to ask them, but I have some other things I wish to do, and I will need to retire here soon.
I'm gonna just turn to the group and be like, I'm sure I, like many of you, feel a little guilty having this great meal just one day removed from what was yesterday, but I think this was important, and I think the ability to enjoy this is important. So we're not gonna forget about Myru. We're not gonna forget what happened, but it's still okay to enjoy life.
Agreed.
And most of us have
Hear,
traveled
hear.
before, but it still may be. We're in good hands with Albus, but it may be a while before we can have something like this again. Time, resources.
Yep. Yeah, I'm a little older than most of you, and
All of us.
well, except for Marie.
Marie.
Oh no, that's true.
But
That's right.
you just find that when you look back, you realize that moments like these are rare, and the ability to enjoy this as we have, it's important that we take advantage. So thank you. We're recent friends, but I feel connected to all of you. I appreciate you, and I'm excited for this journey that we're about to embark on together.
Yeah, Kestrel nods her head in agreement. She says, yeah, happy moments like these, it's good to take advantage of them while you have them. I'm glad to have met you all.
Kestrel's like,
Before the
sounds like
pan-
another toast, actually.
Yeah, I pick up my still hot tea from that nice honey, and I go, ooh, nice toast, you know?
Here.
Pensier's gonna take a drink with us, right?
Yeah.
Cheers.
Well, is he? Come on, Pansier.
No, the Pansier's not going to take anything from you guys. But,
He's not going to take a drink?
Oh, a drink with you guys. Yeah,
Yeah.
he'll take a drink
Yeah,
with
not
you
my
guys
wallet.
if you wish.
Heck yeah.
He'll pour out. What would he have? I think the burning
damn.
liquid is his
Mhm.
preference. He'll take some of that. So he'll toast with you guys.
Okay.
I'm at a little
Bonnie
bit of
will
bourbon. Maybe I'll
also.
slip a little bit of bourbon into the tea, but I'm not going to show Kestrel that.
I mean, to be fair, Panseer is
Okay.
a fire type Pokemon, so it makes sense that he'd want the
Okay.
burning one.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
I'm also taking some of that burning
Oh yeah.
with the Panseer.
Okay. And
we all
you all toast?
Yep.
toast.
Yes.
Toast.
Mm-hmm.
Cheers.
Toast.
Salud.
Yeah.
And Cutoff is once again look like.
Oh God.
Done off. Just do the tea. Just do the tea.
Yeah, I rub
No,
his
no.
shoulder and I project reassuring feelings into him while he's preparing to take the shot.
Unfortunately, more drunk feelings would also go along with that.
Yeah, he's gonna get some drunk feelings in there too. He's gonna get all of the feelings.
And,
Tasting like
he
liquor.
will absolutely take a drink of the drink, not the tea.
Okay. All right.
Uh,
Yeah,
and
you
before
got it.
he leaves, the Panseer, he does turn to you, Albus, and then sort of to everyone else, and he says, "The last thing I will ask before I depart, my dear Gourmand, all I ask that you promise me in exchange for this meal is that by the time your journey is over, you have another feast in celebration of its end. One to demark the beginning, one to demark its end. Do this for me, and everything is covered.
Well, I promise you we shall, and we will make it an effort to have our final meal here in upholding tradition.
And he nods and says, if you did me that honor, I would be most grateful.
I don't know where our journey will lead us, but we will make an effort to come back here at least.
If you don't,
And he
that
gives-
will be 4,000 zenith.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the future, he'll-
72,000.
Magic letter appears. It's a bill.
I mean, this doesn't have to happen now if more conversation needs to happen, but like, can I try to catch him before he leaves?
Yeah, before he kind of shuffles
um,
off, you can kind of grab him, yeah.
Yeah, like close to the door maybe or something.
Sure. Mhm.
And I kind of just want to say, Mr. Panseer, I have a question actually. Do you know Curiosity? I've talked to many people, don't know anything about but you name it so clearly, like you know exactly what it is. Do you?
And he kind of mulls over your words and then kind of puts a hand on your shoulder and says, my sight is a gift from the god of feasts. I see what he wishes me to see. The important celebrations, the festivities, the communities that come together. As I said before, there are communities and feasts, big and small. Even your people are known to my god. So take heart. You and your people are not alone in your struggles. And he gives you a bit of a nod.
But you don't know, then.
And,
You only tell me what your god wants you to tell me.
And he says, I know enough of the struggles you face. To say I truly know them would be a lie, and I would not do that to you, my dear. But I assure you many allies here around you, and elsewhere. At least, that is what I see.
Okay. I don't know if I believe your divination, but I want to believe that I can go home, so thank you.
he
And I
nods.
shall think on it.
He nods and he says, the important thing with true divination, my dear, is it's not about my power or my vision or lack thereof. It's about yours. What do you see in your heart and what do you want to make real? That's the important thing to any good divination, any good celebration. The food is just food until we surround it with people and play and promises. That's what makes it a feast. That's what makes it important. We give it meaning. You can give it meaning. Never forget that. And he kind of
Okay,
pats you on the shoulder and dips out the door.
cool.
Perfect
back
for
to my friends.
Thanksgiving.
Deuces.
Yeah. Yo, so true, so true. Time to date this episode.
But yeah. So with him departing, you guys, all that is left is Bonnie. She's in there in case you guys need anything. But you guys otherwise kind of have the room to yourself, as far as like trying to eat any food, have any other drinks, or have any conversations, things like that. You still kind of have this sort of back room.
That food was, well, its food seemed amazing. But and thank you
Have
for
to feel the whole
getting
thing.
the gas things for me. That was very kind.
I'm happy that I was able to provide something for you while we feasted.
Yeah. Thank you.
So, Kestrel, how will Wolf find us? Can he sense where you are? Is he a good tracker? How far out of the city should we go on our first leg of our journey?
Kestrel, bit more serious and thoughtful now, says, Wolf is an excellent hunter. I imagine, I don't know exactly how he has managed to track me, but I almost know this to be true. I think he is tracking me through the bond that we share, me and him, the blood we share as well, like I share with you, and how I can find you in the city. Wolf, I think he is tracking me through that. I think Wolf is very smart, but I think he would prefer to meet us away from people. So maybe we go out into the wilderness. I don't think he would show up near the road. So maybe we go do. Did you tell me about the bounty? Did I hear about that from you?
He did, yeah.
Yeah,
He was
I
like,
believe
blah,
so.
blah, blah.
Yeah,
and he
okay. Yeah. He went blah, blah, blah. So I say, Steve said something about bounty, take us out into the wilderness. Maybe we go do that, camp, and he will find us then. I think we should do that. I feel bad for cleaning out our stores of money. So I think that lines up. We should do that. That is where he will probably try to find us.
That sounds good.
You don't have to worry about that. I have ways of getting it. I'm not exactly poor, so
Okay. Done off flexing all his money.
Yeah.
Wait, what about my shield project? Let's go do that right now before we leave.
We got
Yeah.
time.
Nobody else knows about that yet. Okay.
It's about liquidity.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it sounds like we have a destination.
Okay.
To be honest with you all, I think inertia when it comes to these things is real. And the more we stay here, the more I'm gonna want to stay here. So I vote we wrap it up and get on the road.
Agreed.
Agreed.
Okay.
let's get to it.
Okay. Let's go.
Thanks, Bonnie.
Oh yeah.
She gives you a nod and he goes, "Oh, it was my pleasure to be of service today. I hope you all had a wonderful time, and you are always welcome back at the Pans here." Yes, she gives another bow.
Cute.
Bow back.
Oh, oh.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh.
You don't have to do
Kizif
that.
has some competition with Bonnie, huh?
Oh man.
Comes running down the alley.
So are all my books already packed up in the thing, in the wagon or whatever?
Yes, all
I
7
don't-
books.
I
Yeah, I don't know that you guys
I-
packed everything, but you guys could easily check out of the Welcome Inn and
Mhm.
Okay.
pack all your things up.
Probably a good idea.
Yeah.
So you guys head back to the Welcome Inn.
Mhm.
You guys talk to one of the daughters that's manning the front, and are like, "Oh, we'd like to check out." And she goes, "Oh, I hope you had a pleasant stay, and I hope everything's going great." And you're like, "Ah, it's good, it's fine." And then, like, bing, bang, boom, you guys get all your stuff together. You're able to put it into your cart, and you guys are able to leave the city. What direction are you going here? As far as like leaving?
Northwest, right?
It's northwest.
Okay, so you will
County.
probably then be leaving the Dusk Gate. That's the most northern gate of the city, and it's the one that it's on the other side of the river that runs through Lighthaven, essentially.
Uh-huh.
So would be the one that you want.
That's a cool map. Look at the map.
Mhm.
It's right there.
There's a map. So the road that kind of comes up out of it, that road is the one that connects to the Dusk Gate. It's not on the map, but that stream there that runs under the bridge to Don Laika is the Lucent River. That was the one that was mentioned in the bounty. Traveling through out of Lighthaven, you guys actually are passing through certain areas that you have yet to pass through. Essentially, you guys have never had a reason to go to the northern part of the city, but essentially crossing the river itself. There's like a keep there that sort of the keep is the bridge that crosses the river. It's sort of this fortified bridge / keep, and it sort of builds up from there into the Apex Alcazar, which is the big kind of royal castle that sits up there. And as you pass by, sort of adjacent to the castle itself, as it kind of tears its way down, you can even see through some of the gated areas, the fences and whatnot, as lavish as they are, you can see that there is the royal garden kind of back there as well. And then that, as you sort of pass through, there's a weird, you end up you're at the part of the city where the very large tower that had the wyverns kind of flying around it as you guys had entered the city. You don't see the wyverns around the tower itself currently. They must be elsewhere. But the other thing that occupies the sky in this part of the city, and you don't really go under it, but close enough that it certainly kind of feels like it, is the Eidolon Hold, Skyhold, which is the large sort of floating, like kind of fortress, maybe sort of academy of sorts, and it's sort of situated here above a section of the city, kind of sort of above, and I guess you could call it like east of where the Dusk Gate itself is, which sort of gives some of you a weird sense of like, ooh, because as you go underneath it, you can just sort of look up and you basically see the underside of a mountain just sort of kind of floating above you, which is, a novel sensation to some of you. But eventually you then cross over to the Dusk Gate itself. It's pretty standard gate, not too dissimilar from the Dawn Gate, which was on the other side of the city, not too far from the Whitestone Market. And from there, you guys are able to pass through the gate without any incident. There are guards. They are certainly keeping track of everyone coming and going, but as you guys are just leaving the city and you've got your cart and all of you guys, they let you pass without incident. This puts you out onto the Palace Plains and the road that is traveling up to Gerard. It's, I don't know, you guys had like lunch, essentially? Morning breakfast
Brunch.
or whatever? Yeah, brunch.
Mhm.
So it's getting to be about, 11, going into 12 or so after you guys have checked out and everything. And so it's about midday. Yeah, sun's high in the air. There's a bit of a breeze, through the Palace Plains. Not too, it's pretty normal. And yeah, you guys hit the road. Where do you guys want to go? Looking at the map, you can see that the road runs kind of alongside the Lucent River for quite a few miles before they sort of fork to a degree. They're not right alongside each other, but they are close enough that you can see the river kind of off in the distance. Do you want to travel on the road and then break off at a certain point? How kind of far do you guys want to go? Every kind of hex that you move is the equivalent of a day's travel, and in the cart on like a road, you can move two days worth for every day, essentially. So you could move 2 hexes. It's like half a day, so give or take whatever that ends up being. So you guys could probably move about a day's worth until you need to maybe camp alongside the road for the night. But what's your game plan here? essentially.
I think it's like an urban legend, or not urban, but whatever. It's misinformation that like dogs can't track over water, because I would have said, well, we don't want to cross the river before we meet with wolf, but I think they kind of can. But if that's where we want to stop, like veer off the road, kind of like around the river, that's a pretty good travel distance, it looks like still. But
As far as where the road separates and cuts off, I'm not too sure how well you can see the map.
A little bit.
So basically, from Lighthaven, if you were to follow the road, it kind of goes north west.
Oh, that's
sort
the
of
road.
two hexes.
So is that just
The dotted
representing?
So dotted lines are roads, and technically there is also a bridge that is also a road. That goes from Lighthaven. There's a road that crosses over a bridge and then goes to Don Laika as well. Just for the sake of space, we drew it as a bridge, but it is a road as well.
Okay.
Every hex is a day's worth of travel. The bridge is not that big, but it's so there's a lot of road and then a bridge. Yeah.
And my thinking is just at some point we want to go off the main road, because we're hoping to meet Wolf in like a secret sort of, right? Like we don't want a bunch of people seeing it.
Yeah.
Can't be on the main roads doing that.
We can't be on the main roads. We got to be out in the wilderness.
Yeah. So do you want to essentially? It is possible when leaving from the Dusk Gate to sort of. They have essentially a road that hitches east. That is the road that then goes up to Don Laika. So do you want to? I guess it depends on where you want to go. So you can kind of hitch that road. Basically, if you were leaving on the hex, there's sort of the top left or the top right hex. One of them kind of is the road going to Gerard. One of them goes to Don Laika. Both of them technically make contact with the Lucent River, but they're both also by essentially roads. So,
okay.
What hex
like-
contains the bounty?
Yeah.
the hex that would contain the bounty is probably going to be the best luck. You guys could I make you roll to see if you can find them, but the road to Gerard that has the two hexes with the road and the river, you could try to find brambles there. If you were to go to the one hex where they separate and they go up, that you could definitely find them up there. It's far enough away from the road itself, essentially.
Okay, so one up to the left of that gate where the road is, that could maybe find brambles there.
No,
And
so was
or-
that three hexes up?
then 3 hexes up.
Correct.
Okay. So we could try to.
Or you're correct. Or the other 2 hexes before that, but I'd make you roll essentially to see if you find them.
A travel
Okay.
rule.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yo, Doug's getting his
what?
travel rolls.
What are those? Yeah.
Synchro what?
So my suggestion would probably be to try going up that left road, rolling to see if we can find brambles, but like throughout the day, maybe veer off the main road and then go out into the wilderness a bit when we go to camp for the night if we can't find anything.
Yeah, so I totally agree. What is the most that we want to travel today then? And then we can just say like we'll check as we go, but like when we're getting near the end of where we want to go, we'll make sure to veer off so that we're in a secluded area. So is it
Well, we can only travel one day because we have half a day and we can travel 2 hexes by cart. So we have
Yes.
Yes.
So normally you travel 2, because of the cart, you would travel 2 days worth in one day, but you have half a day. So you can travel, like essentially, you can cover 1 hex. So that first hex to the top left, essentially,
Okay.
you'd be like, we've covered this today. You could veer off the side of the road
okay?
and go from there.
So
yeah.
it sounds like we're gonna search the first hex, and then veer off at the end and wait for Wolf.
veer off out into the wilderness, wait for wolf.
We need to have like a little token on the map that we just boop boop.
Oh, yeah.
That,
I was trying
Would
to
you
find
like
that
to
something.
jump
sounds
that?
great. I have no idea how to facilitate that in this setup here.
Put it in roll 20 and whatever.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
not
that's a whole
creating
nother.
work. I'm not creating
yeah,
work.
that's
Well, and I was gonna say that's a static image, so it's not even. We can't even like color it in because that I think would be a pain on its own.
Correct.
Okay.
Well, I mean, like Chris can move around on it, but unless,
Yeah.
he'd
We'll-
have to be
we'll
sharing a
remember.
different. Yeah, I
Yeah.
suppose we could work on something involving like if Chris can share the screen and he's got it open in like as a PNG in Paint.net or something, he could move a fucking square around or something like that. But that's a whole nother.
So day one, we've
What?
traveled
Ah,
one.
You want things done on the fly, you're gonna have to deal with them being on top of your fucking head. You are gonna have to deal with it
look,
being on top of your head.
You.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well-
That's where we are. You are here.
Nice.
We're doing it live.
Cool.
That is where you guys are. Mhm.
Cool.
The little like airplane thing travels across. Like it's
Uh-huh.
Indiana
It's like
Jones.
Indiana
we're in
Jones.
a Carmen San Diego game.
Yeah.
Mhm.